sa svabhavaja Satviki rajasi chaiva Tamasi chaiti tam shrinu Shri Vrindavan Swara Dehinam sa svabhavaja Satviki rajasi chaiva Tamasi chaiti tam shrinu Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Shri Vrindavan Swara Dehinam sa svabhavaja Satviki rajasi chaiva Tamasi chaiti tam shrinu Word for word, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Shri Veda, the three kinds, Bhavanti, becomes, Shraddha, the faith, Prenam, of the embodied, Sa, that, Svabhavaja, according to his mode of material nature. Satviki, and the mode of goodness. Rajasi, and the mode of passion. Cha, also. Deva, certainly. Tamasi, the mode of ignorance. Cha, and. Iti, thus. From that. Renew, hear from me. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said. Oh, is it clear? It sounds there's too much bass. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the mode of nature acquired by embodied souls, one faith can be of three kinds, goodness, compassion, or ignorance. Now hear about this. Please repeat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds, goodness, compassion, or ignorance. I'll hear about this. Purport. Those who know the rules and regulations of the scriptures, cut out laziness or indolence, give up following these rules and regulations, are governed by the modes of material nature. According to their previous activities, in the mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, they acquire a nature which is of a specific quality. The association of living entity with different modes of nature has been going on perpetually. Since the living entity is in contact with material nature, it requires different types of mentality according to its association with material modes. But this nature can be changed if one associates with a bona fide spiritual master, abides by his rules and regulations. Gradually one can change his position from ignorance to goodness, from passion to goodness. Conclusion is that blind faith in a particular mode of nature cannot help a person become elevated to the perfectional stage. One has to consider things carefully with intelligence in the association of bona fide spiritual master. Thus one can change his position, become to a higher mode of nature. Om Ariyanatu Anjana Sakara Sakshi Tanjaya Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutle Swayam Rupakadamayam Danti Slapam Anjakopachubhyascha Kirasindravcha Panam Bhavnayo Vaishnava Namaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Vasa Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Translation again. The personality God had said, according to the modes of nature acquired by embodied souls, one's faith can be of three kinds, goodness and passion of ignorance. Now hear about this. So this verse is a continuation of from the last chapter, which is called the divine and demoniac. And in the last verse it says, one should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so they may gradually be elevated. He who discards spiritual injunctions, acts according to his own whims, attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. So similar, it's being said here, a similar thing. This, Arjuna wants to know what is the situation. Those who do not follow the scriptures worship according to their own imagination, either in goodness, passion, or ignorance. So the word faith means belief in a religious doctrine. Or Prabhupada says faith means to put your faith in something sublime. But the faith, people have faith in different scriptures, in different religions, and this is due to the impression from previous lives, or karma from previous lives. So one may make in goodness, passion, or ignorance. And this is going on perpetually. So that's why in Vrindavan we find different kinds of people. We find Vaishnava devotees, we also find Muslims, and we find atheists. Maybe there's a few Christians. I'm not sure about that. But you wonder, well, how a Muslim can be born in Vrindavan and follow the Muslim faith. Because it's because of previous impression, previous lives impressions. His family are Muslims and he follows his family tradition. So this is because of the position of the heart. It's the previous impressions. So we know when one takes birth, when one dies, one is sure to take birth again. And one takes birth again, one is sure to die. So this is going on. Repeated birth and death. So at the end of life, one takes with him his subtle body, which is composed out of the mind, intelligence, false ego, and memory. These are called the internal organs: mind, intelligence, false ego. So the Srimad Bhagavatam says, Tattva Dharma. This is those are many cheating religions, which are not actually in the world today. So many different kinds of religions. Tattva Dharma. Dharma, but says Dharma pradito kaitava traparmo nimatsuram tatam vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivanam tapatravau mulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kim Vapapur Vapur Ishaha Ishvara Sajo Rudi Avarujite Trakritabi Shushubi Tatsanat. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavad Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees purely pure in heart. So, these other religions in the world today, they're based on material activities, and they don't bring one to the perfectional stage. So those who worship demigods are considered to be in the mode of the goodness. Those who worship the yakshas and rakshasas are in the mode of passion, and those who worship the pitas and bhutas are considered tamasic. So it says in Bhagavad Gita that these different type of worshippers, those who worship the demigods go to the demigods, those who worship the yakshas and rakshas go to their planets, and those who worship pitas and bhutas go to the pitas and bhutas. So this is not recommended. Worship the demigods. People worship demigods out of laziness, ignorance, egotism, troublesome, or but they do not follow any scriptural injunctions, and therefore they have no spiritual intelligence. When scriptures are taught by devotees will change. When scriptures are taught by devotees, you can change their impression. But Krishna says those people who worship demigods are less intelligent. And because demigods are semi-gods. They're not all in all. Krishna is tu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the original God. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Nandinadi Govinda Sabrakara Karanam. So from Krishna emanates all the Vishnu incarnations, all the other incarnations, and also the demigods are emanating, coming from Krishna. And Lord Brahma is the first created being. And from Lord Brahma, all the other, gradually all the other living entities come into existence. The demigods are considered higher than human beings, but the worship of demigods is not. One may get some temporary benefit, but people usually do it out of ignorance. You know, one demon, his name was Vrikashura. He heard that he could get a benediction if he worshipped Lord Shiva. So for 1 year, he ate only a handful of ashes every day with no salt. And then Lord Shiva didn't come, so he made a fire and started cutting off his own flesh and throwing in the fire. And still Lord Shiva didn't come. So then he took a bath, kept himself wet, and he was prepared to cut off his own head and throw it in the fire. But then Lord Shiva did come. So Lord Shiva said, you know, I'm easily pleased. You don't have to do all these kinds of austerities. And he rejuvenated his body and said, you know, Lord Shiva said, you just offer me some Ganges water and some duva leaves, I'm pleased by that. So he said to the demon, now you can ask for any benediction you want. So the demon said, I want the benediction that if I put my hand on anyone's head, it will crack. So our Shiva said, okay, you have that benediction. But then the demons are always opposed to devotees. Lord Shiva is the best of all devotees. But he gives benedictions to demons, but he's not really, doesn't accept them as his devotees. And he doesn't tell them whether the benediction is good or bad for them. So he gave him the benediction, then he wanted to try it out on Lord Shiva. So he started chasing Lord Shiva all over the universe to see if the benediction would work. So Lord Shiva eventually went to Vaikuntha and the planet of Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu disguised himself as a devotee of Lord Shiva, and he said to this foolish person that actually Lord Shiva is not really giving you any benediction. He's a liar. So you just put your hand on your head, and when it doesn't work, you can kill that Lord Shiva. So the foolish person was forgetful that he had a benediction. He put his hand on his head, and his head cracked. So this is the example of someone who worships demigods in the mode of ignorance and torturing their body. But this is not recommended. So people worship the demigods, but the fruits are limited and temporary. They worship demigods for some material benefits. But Krishna says, Kama Sava Kama Va Moksha Kama Dharadi. We have no material desires, full of material desires. By all means, to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is much better, because everything emanates from Krishna. Krishna's true Bhagavan Swayam. Everything is coming from Krishna. So if you worship Krishna, even if you have material desires, he can fulfill those. He says in Bhagavad Gita that I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. So, of course, we don't worship Krishna for material desires or material things, because we know that material things will not make one happy. This is an illusion. In modern society, everyone is thinking that making money, having sex life, and going to nightclubs and all sorts of nonsense things will make them happy. And it says in Bhagavatam, we were reading the other day, the Bhagavatam report, Prabhupada said everybody is insane in the material world because they think sense gratification is the purpose of life. So if someone's insane, then they can take them to a hospital and try to make them sane again, but it's a difficult job. So the devotees in this Krishna consciousness movement, they have a difficult job to awaken the people in the modes of nature to a higher consciousness. So there's two kinds of people. One, people who have faith in different religions, and they rise from their previous lives, impressions, and they now follow any scriptures. Prabhupada lectured on this verse in one or two times, 17.1. And he's got an example, the Arya Samaj. They're a group, they say Krishna is not the Supreme Personality of God. Krishna was just a great personality. And they don't follow any rules or regulations. Someone made up this religion. Also the Jains. The Jain religion was, after Maharaj Rishabdev appeared, he was an avadut. And when he became an avadut, it means he wandered all over the world as a dull, dumb man, but he didn't give up his spiritual position. So even though he stayed in one place, when he passed through India, it smelled like roses up to 80 miles. So the Jains, they tried to copy King Arhat. He invented the Jain religion and tried to copy Maharaj Rishabdev. But they can't do that. They can't pass through India. It smells like roses. So, but actually the Jains, they don't follow the Vedic literatures, and they don't accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's another religion that's been invented. So many religions have been invented in the past, in Kali Yuga. People take part in these religions. And even the so-called religions, there's the Christian religion and the Muslim religion and Jewish religion. They also don't even follow their own scriptures. Like in the Christian religion says, Jesus Christ said that thou shalt not kill. They say this means only human beings, thou shalt not murder. He didn't say that. He said thou shalt not kill, which means you shouldn't kill any animals. But the Christians say it's okay. The Muslims say it's okay to eat meat and kill animals. The Christians say it's okay to kill animals and eat meat, especially cows. They kill cows. Because the Muslims, they have one holiday where they put a cow in front of their house and slaughter that cow in public. This is their so-called religion. So this is certainly Tamasic, or in more ignorance. So in most religions, in the Jewish religion, they have what is called kosher food, which means they don't mix the meat and milk products into the same dishes together, or cook them together. But we've solved that problem while mixing milk and meat together, because we don't eat meat. You don't have to worry about mixing anything together. They say, well, if you drink the milk, and the meat may come from a calf that was born from a cow. So you shouldn't mix the meat and milk together. But we have a better solution to keeping kosher. We just don't eat meat at all. Because human beings, it says, Ishavasham Idam Sarvam, that we have a quota. And the quota for human beings is to eat fruits, vegetables, and grains and milk products, not to eat meat. If you want to eat meat, you can get a body of a tiger or lion who have very big teeth and long intestines, long stomachs meant for eating meat. But human beings are not meant to eat meat, especially the cow. The cow is considered sacred. Go Deva Ramanya Itaya Cha. The cow is, all the demigods reside in the body of the cow. And Krishna favorite, Krishna, everyone worships the cow. We should worship the cow as special, auspicious, and not slaughter animal slaughter. And because of animal slaughter and cow killing all over the world, there cannot be peace in this world. As long as they're slaughtering cows, the slaughterhouse, there has to be an equal and opposite reaction. And that reaction comes in the form of wars and other natural disturbances. And sometimes we were reading about the hellish planets. Sometimes we see hell right here on earth, when people go to war and kill each other. It creates a very hellish condition right on this planet. So we know this is the people who have faith in their religion for previous impressions, but these faiths, so-called religions, they usually don't accept other religions. And we have our Rath Yatra in Los Angeles, one of the biggest Rath Yatras in America. The Christians come there with their signs saying, if you don't accept Jesus, you're going to hell. So, but Krishnadas Kaviraj says if you don't accept Lord Chaitanya, you're an atheist, even if you worship Krishna. So the Christians think that we're fanatics, and we know that they're fanatics. And why they come and bother us? Whether they can preach to some other people, why they have to bother us? We're not opposed to Christianity. We're not opposed to Jesus Christ. Prabhupada said he was our guru. But we're opposed to the people who don't follow Jesus Christ, teachings of Jesus Christ. So anyone who's a true Christian will actually join this Krishna consciousness movement, because this Krishna consciousness movement is in pure goodness, or transcendental to the modes of nature. So these other religions are contaminated by the modes of material nature. And therefore, people follow these religions just out of social etiquette. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is it for material life, for goals of material life. Dharma is to follow some religion, get some economic development, get some sense gratification. And moksha, or liberation, most people don't even know about liberation or care about liberation. And you tell people that there's an afterlife and this is not the only life, they don't believe it. Most people think that there's nothing after this life. As you take birth, you grow up and you live and die, and you're finished. But we know from Bhagavad Gita, we know from Srimad Bhagavatam, from teachings, Vedic literatures, that the spirit soul is passing from boyhood to youth to old age, then to another body at the time of death. So there's never a time when we did not exist. Krishna told Arjuna, there's never a time when you did not exist, or we always existed. So the soul cannot be, doesn't die. When the person leaves his body, he goes to another body. We always have form. We always have a body. It's not that we become zero, a void. So Srila Prabhupada came to teach this Krishna conscious movement. And he says blind faith will not help one. It's like the blind leading the blind. If two blind men are walking on the road, and one blind man falls in the ditch, the other blind man will fall in the ditch. Or if the leaders of society don't lead people in the proper direction, it's like leading people on a stone boat. People are getting on a stone boat. And what happens when you have a stone boat? It doesn't float, it sinks. So because the leaders of society don't have faith in God, are godless, the whole civilization, and this modern civilization has become a godless civilization. And people follow religious principles only in name only, not to attain God consciousness. They asked Srila Prabhupada when he went to America, why have you come to America? Have you come to introduce a new religion? we have so many religions already. The Prophet said, no, I came to teach love of God. Religion means to learn how to love God. And so that's real religion. And they asked Prabhupada if he thought Christianity had failed the people, and Prabhupada said, yes, I think so. So, because the Christian religion failed the people, then the Hare Krishna movement was able to purchase so many nice buildings that used to be Christian churches, and they were forced to sell the buildings because no one was coming to church. So we took advantage of that, and now we have so many nice temples all over the world. A lot of them were churches. So, but these different faiths people have, you can change your faith. You can be a Christian one day, you can be a Muslim one day, you can change your faith. But what we're teaching is Sanatana Dharma. It's eternal religion of the soul. Chivara Suboy Nitya Krishna Das. And this applies to everyone. If you have gold, in one country if you have Indian gold, or American gold, or Chinese gold, it's all gold. It doesn't become Indian gold, or Chinese gold, or anything else. So in the same way, Sanatana Dharma, eternal occupation of the soul, it applies to everyone. There aren't many gods. There's only one God, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So God has hundreds of millions of names. Lord Chaitanya said that we have hundreds of millions of names, but so whatever name they want to call God, they can chant that name. We have no objection. But they should follow the rules and regulations and give up their sinful activities at the same time. Because when Prabhupada was talking to Cardinal Dayalu, he was explaining how killing animals, eating meat is sinful. And you can't love God if you're sinful. So if people want to learn how to love God, first they have to give up their sinful activities. That's why we say no. In our movement, everyone must follow 4 regular principles. No eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no sex life, illicit sex. But Janaka Pandit says if you give a good instruction to a snake, he just becomes more angry. He actually, a less intelligent man, try to instruct some foolish rascal man about God consciousness. He's worse than the snake, because the snake can be charmed with mantras and herbs. But a foolish man who doesn't want to accept good instruction can't be converted in any way. So there's always a conflict between the demons and the devotees. And the demons don't like the devotees, and they give trouble to the devotees. So in many parts of the world, the Krishna consciousness movement is going on, but the demons are always giving us trouble. But still, we're still pushing on the movement. Our movement is growing more and more all over the world. And even Shankaracharya, who came to teach Mayavadi philosophy, said Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Mure, Mate, Muda, Mure. He said, you fools, just worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda. Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda, Bhaja Govinda. Although he was Lord Shiva, Krishna sent Lord Shiva to teach Mayavadi philosophy, because when Lord Buddha came, he came to stop animal killing in the name of sacrifice, in the name of the Vedas. So he stopped people from studying the Vedas or accepting the Vedas. So Shankaracharya came to bring people back to the Vedas, but he gave Mayavadi interpretation. But then Lord Chaitanya came 500 years ago. He came to re-establish the religious principles and defeated the Mayavadi philosophy. Mayavadi say, Brahma Satya Jagat Nitya, that the world is false It's not real. And they think the goal of life is just to merge or become one. But the Vaishnavas say that the world is not false, but it's temporary. It's not that I'm not sitting here talking to you. I'm not false, but I'm temporary. I mean, I'm only here for a short time. So this difference between Mayavadi philosophy and Vaishnava philosophy is not that it's all one, and that at the end of life everyone just merges into the Brahman. But it says, Vinukta Maninas, even those who have merged into the Brahman, but they have less intelligence and they have not taken shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, they have to come back to the material world and open hospitals and schools and do philanthropic work. So they don't get any real happiness. Brahman realization is like the water contained in the calf's hoofprint compared to the water in the ocean. It's very insignificant. The ocean service gives one 10 million times more happiness than merging into Brahman. So this Brahman liberation is like spiritual suicide for devotees. They're not interested in mukti. These two witches, wanting material sense gratification and wanting liberation, emerging in Brahman. These witches are detrimental to devotional service. They are not at all desired by those who are in pure goodness, the devotees. So last sentence in this verse is very interesting. Prabhupada says, in his purport, Prabhupada says, one has to consider things carefully with intelligence in the association of bona fide spiritual master. Thus one can change his position to a higher mode of nature or become Krishna conscious. So we had problems with the deprogrammers. They were accusing us of brainwashing people. So Prabhupada agreed, yes, when the brain is dirty, it needs to be washed. So, but this sentence says one should consider things carefully with intelligence in the association of bona fide spiritual master. So we don't tell people they have to accept what we say blindly. We say you have to consider it with your intelligence. We know the subtle body is there, mind, intelligence, false ego. So above the mind is the intelligence, and above the intelligence is the soul. So with the intelligence, we can discriminate between good and bad, right and wrong. And so, Ado Guru Ashraya, the first step in spiritual life, spiritual life begins with faith. One has a little faith, Ashraya, he meets devotees. And as that faith increases, starts to associate with devotees. And then, by association with devotees, he meets a bona fide spiritual master, or Bhajana Kriya. And then, when one takes initiation, it's called an artana vritti. At this stage, one agrees to follow the four regular principles: no meeting, no gambling, no intoxication, no sex, and chant 16 rounds of Maha Mantra every single day. And from an artana vritti, there's Nistha, and then Sakti, Bhava, Ruchi, Sakti, and Bhava, and Prema. So when one's free from all anarthas, then one can gradually attain Bhava Bhakti, or pure devotional service. And then Prema will also, one can also attain Prema Bhakti, which is the highest goal. Prema Pumartha Mohan, attain love of God, and enter into the pastimes, Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan with the gopis. So Lord Chaitanya is the Yuga avatar, and he came to teach, to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. In this age, Harinam, 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 became a Gatir Anita. It says, in this age of Kali Yuga, there's no other way, no other religious principle than chanting the holy name. And Srila Bhagavatam also says in the age of Kali, the Mahaguna, there's one good quality, and simply by chanting the holy name, one can attain liberation. So this is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, and nothing else will bring people to the transcendental position to transcend the modes of material nature, come to the mode of pure goodness, except for following this process and chanting the pure name, Krishna's name, Nama Chintamani Krishna, Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It's Krishna's not different than his name. The Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes, they're all on the absolute platform, not different than Krishna. So we should carefully, with great attention, chant 16 rounds every day, follow the principles, and be convinced we're not, devotees have firm faith that this Krishna consciousness, they ask Srila Prabhupada, what if Krishna's not God? And Prabhupada said, well, we still have the best lifestyle. So this is a positive alternative. And due to impressions from past life or security from past life, we somehow got the good fortune to take the Krishna consciousness, even against all odds. Against all odds. Generally, parents are not happy to see their devotees, their sons, daughters becoming devotees, because then they think we're crazy. If someone doesn't eat meat and have illicit sex, then they think you're crazy. But someone who has illicit sex and eats meat and gambles, takes intoxication, spends his whole life in that way, they're actually the ones that are crazy. Because human life is a life meant for inquiry, Tato Brahma Jignasa, inquiring into the Supreme, inquiring how to make a solution to the problem. The real problems of life is birth, death, old age, and disease. This no one can avoid. So these are the real problems of life. So the Krishna consciousness movement is meant to deliver people, give people opportunity to not have to take birth and suffer again and again. This taking birth and growing up and getting old and dying is all suffering. There's no real happiness in this material world. Whatever happiness they get, just a moment's relief from the suffering. Even though people will say, I'm not suffering, then why are there so many hospitals? Why are there so many medical shops that people aren't suffering? If people wouldn't be suffering, you wouldn't need hospitals. You wouldn't need medical shops. There'd be no disease in old age. But these things are there, and so Lord Prabhupada wanted to spread this movement all over the world. Lord Chaitanya predicted that the holy name would be chanted in every town and village, and this is going on now. And this is what Prabhupada wanted. This is Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj told them to preach to the English-speaking world, spread this Krishna consciousness movement. So we are in the Brahma, Gaudiya, Vaishnava Sampradaya, and we're following teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came 500 years ago to introduce the Sankirtan movement and to teach people how to attain love of God and not have to take birth again in this material world. So we should take advantage of this movement, and we should read all of Prabhupada's books, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and carefully understand the philosophy, and therefore make our human life successful. Hare Krishna. Anybody have any comments, questions?